So I just wanted to maybe also talk a little bit about resources. Personally, even though I think I've been in a kind of a landscaping field for a long time, I still do a lot of research. And usually before I put a plant on the ground or I recommend it to somebody, I think it's always a great idea to research the plant. One thing I found, particularly in Virginia, they always grow a little bit bigger than you think, because we have just a great climate. The other thing, I think it's really important what the requirements are of the plant, what kind of soil do they like, moisture, light exposure, because that makes everything a lot more successful, right? And you also don't want to get any surprises. If you have your spaces like this big, maybe you don't want to plant a Boltonia, right? And then it gets to be like this large. So there are definitely really great websites out there. Like one of my favorites is the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center website. They really have a great search functionality for native plants. I also go a lot on the Missouri Botanic Garden Plant Finder. They have extensive information about individual plants, and that's a really great place to research exactly how big is the plant going to grow, what does it need. Certainly an extremely great resource is Plant Nova Natives. I think the book and the website are so easy to use and definitely adapted to right here in Virginia, so I highly recommend that one. I think anything by Doug Ptolemy and Rick Dark. I know that Doug Ptolemy just has its newest book out, and I'm not sure what the title is. But they have great information, and the other thing I like is that they are so inspiring, right? Just constantly reminding us why we do what we do with native plants. So I think I'd highly recommend this one. Here's another book by actually Rick Dark and Doug Ptolemy. A lot of the pictures in here are, I think, more related to woodland gardens. But what I love about it is it shows that you can create extremely beautiful home landscapes totally with native plants. And very inspiring book. And the other thing I like about it is in the appendix, basically it lists native plants, and then it has a little section about all the different things like ecological functions, and it basically tells you how many different things certain plants support. And when you look at a crepe myrtle, well, it maybe supports like maybe one caterpillar, and then you have an oak and it supports like 500 different species, right? Then you think, right, it's a no-brainer, right? Like, I'm going to plant an oak. So one of my favorite books. There are really great resources. These are issued by the Department of Forestry. It's a whole series, very inexpensive, native trees and native shrubs. I think there's one for vines. And what I like about these is they're more like a catalog. But it helps me remember plants I might not think of right away, right? I leaf through and say, oh yeah, there's that tree, right? Let's put that one in, because, sometimes you don't remember all the different things that are available. So these are great.
And I think we have that on our website, on our shop site.
Great, yeah. And then there are several of these. This is Piedmont native plants, but these very simple. I love the pictures because, obviously we all plant gardens because we want something beautiful. So I think it is important. The aesthetics are really important. And, if you look for yellow or pink and you want to make sure they're right size and right shape. So this is a Piedmont native plants. And I'm not actually sure who published it, but it's a really great resource. I picked that up at a conference at some point. And then this might be more maybe for professionals. It's called Planting in a PostWild World. And the reason why I bought this book is it's really to not forget one of the main benefits to plant native plants, and to remember to plant them really densely. And Claudia West goes into great detail about, not planting 6 feet apart and then having these vast mulchscapes, that really, they don't benefit wildlife. They're very resource intensive. So really what we want to see is like a tight planting. I'm actually even here, hopefully all of this should be really filling in, right? Then you don't have weeds, you keep the moisture in. So you really want to plant a really nice tight landscape and cover your ground. I think that's really important, and not be afraid to have plants spill into each other, because I think that makes it really exciting. So.
Right. And this is switchgrass here.
Panicum, yes.
Yeah.
And I love the panicums. There are actually, we have several in here, and I don't know which one this is, but we have, we have Shenandoah, then we have the heavy metal, and I think really great alternatives. They're so well behaved, right? They're not invasive, and you can really put these in a fairly formal environment and have a beautiful display even through winter, and then maybe cut them back in late winter. So panicums are a really great choice for garden.